Well, here's another project I decided to get into. Let me show you what we're doing here. It's plans for a stand-up paddleboard, 14 feet long, 32 inches wide. I didn't want to bore you with cutting out the patterns. Take 4 pieces of luan, basically cut them out. You kind of get to this point right here. You glue your pieces together here, fiberglass right in here. What I'm doing now is going to drill some holes for the stitch process, which basically I'm going to use some little zip ties and zip tie it together. Hopefully, it took me one day to cut out the patterns. Just kind of figured out, here's the other pieces up here. It is 14 foot long, it's pretty long. I got the deck in here ready to go on, so this is it. Basically, first day, cut out all the patterns. This is the second day. I'm going to stitch it together. Let's see what happens. I did a rough cut. Kind of sanded down the edges to make it fit together a little bit better. But hey, what are you going to do? Winter project. Next time it should be all stitched up. Let's find out. So basically what I just got done doing, made a template out of a paint stick. Every 10 inches, 1/4 inch from the side, drew holes. It's going to be for my stitching. So I'm going to start up front of here, work my way back. Okay, lay down the sides. That's basically what I got going on. I'm going to stitch these in and start the hole. So let's. Alright, here's my first couple stitches right here. I'll stitch it together. I'll go down and do the next one. Kind of go all the way down the board. Here's the first row. Stitch in just to give you a little idea. It's starting to actually look like something. I'm going to go ahead and stitch in the transom and the rest of the frames. They just kind of go up all the way down, and that's where we're at right now. Took probably 20 minutes to do that. Okay, I put all the frames in. Here's how it looks. The transom. I'm going to go ahead and put the second side on it. Well, I got the part 3 on, which is the upper sides here. Starting to look like the picture. Got all the frames in. Going to do a little trim around the transom, make it fit a little bit better. But other than that, so far so good. Here's the stitching. Right in here, how you stitch this stuff right in there. Alright, I tightened up all the stitches. Kind of pulled this front up here a little bit to make it look like the front of the boat. Well, caused a little problem back here, so I'm going to show you some mistakes too. Here's the transom. Got like about a 1/2 inch here. Same way on both sides, so I mismeasured something. I'm just going to trim off this back piece a 1/2 inch. Put it back on. Blam! No problemo. So far so good. Okay, so what I did to fix this transom thing was pull the transom off. Here's a reference line from my original foot marks from the original. Just went down 4.5 inches. We'll trim all this off right here. So should be pretty close. Okay, redid the transom. Got it all fitting all snug here. I'm gonna go ahead and glass it in. glass the front and do little tacks in the middle here before I turn it over. Plans are calling to turn it over and glass it, but I'm gonna go ahead and tack some of these things in here at the front. Got it all lined and everything, so there we go so far. Got the transom fiberglassed in. Got the bow fiberglassed in. It's not pretty in there, but it'll keep it together, that's for sure. So I got to put it back inside here, and just gonna let it cure up, and then probably tomorrow fill in all the gaps. So there you go. Took me about an hour to get to that point. Here's the next day. Got it all stitched up, turned it upside down. Before I turned it over, I took some drywall fiberglass tape and on the underside to hold it. Put a little tack epoxy on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the ties off, fill in the rest of the holes. Got a few little waves in there, but not much I can do about that at the moment. Got it all filled in, all the cracks. So I'll let it set for a day, and then I'll grind it all down. It's not pretty, but kind of is what it is at this point. Flip the hull over, do a little test fit of the top, making sure everything's coming together. Doesn't look too bad. Get it trimmed out. Well, it's weekend number 2. I got the hull all ready. I've been sanding it down. Actually going to try to lay the fiberglass on the hull today. There's little dips and stuff in here. I just couldn't seem to get out with that wood putty, so I'm going to try a little Bondo here. Seems to be cleaning up pretty good. Just made them a little bit nicer, a little bit rounder. Don't worry, it's ugly now. So wait till next time. I got her all sanded down. About as close as it's gonna get. Things like this, just no turning back now. I'll try to get some fiberglass pictures. If not, next time you see it, should be all glassed in. Well, I moved the project inside here because of the wind. Take in mind, built this all out in the driveway so far. Just going to roll out the fiberglass, cut it to fit. "14 feet. Well, said in the instructions not to do it all at once, so I took their advice. Doing about 3 feet at a time. It's about all you can handle, because stuff works up kind of fast and get air bubbles and all that crap. So what I got there so far was 4 ounces of resin. Once it's all done, I'm going to put 2 more coats on it so it'll be nice and black. But progress. Well, the second section went on pretty decent. I made a little stand there to glass as I go. Seems to be working, but unexpected delay. Shit melted the pot, man. It got hot. I say it gets hot, but I didn't know it'd melt that shit. So onward and upward, 6 more feet. That was an educational experience. So it's all covered. Brought it outside to cook a little bit. There's some air bubbles in it. I'll let it set up and then I'll take care of those later. Got 2 more coats of resin to put on it. But other than that, I did put in some black dye. It turned out pretty good. I think I put 2 more coats of resin on there. It'll be nice and dark. So there it is so far. Okay, I'm gonna install the frames today. Gonna clamp all the way around. Gonna put one on both sides. Gonna epoxy all this shit in here, and my deck is gonna sit on top of that. So got that to do, and glass the inside. Well, got all the frames in. Put some little stabilizers in here. Help stabilize. Just kind of grabbed whatever I had to weight it down. Just waiting for the shit to dry. A little cloudy day today. Taking forever. Well, about to glass the inside of the hull now. What I'm going to attempt to do is I was able to buy enough fiberglass, just have enough to do the whole bottom in one piece. So I'm going to glass in all these stringers and the frames, and I think that'll hold up better. An instruction says put the frames in there first and then do all this other stuff, but I think I'm going to glass this stuff in. I don't think there'll be a problem doing that, so we'll see. We're going to roll it out. We're going to get the old lady out of here. We're going to hit it. Well, I did half the hull. I don't know how good of an idea that was, doing it all in one piece. I'll let that set up and then do the rest. The reason I was doing that was there was just a little twist in the hull, and thought if I glassed it in and put some blocks on a flat table, might help out just a little bit. It should, so we'll see here. So far so good. I'm going to try something different on the second half. I think I'll just lay it in there, pour some resin on there, and roll it. Well, I did it. Got the whole inside glassed, and it ain't pretty, but getting a little more used to working with the epoxy. I can still redeem myself with the deck. I think I got it figured out, maybe. We'll find out. What I'm doing now is attaching the frames to my little stringers I put in here. I glass those in and just clamping them in, fitting them one at a time. You just kind of got to cut them to fit, trim them down a little bit. The plans say use epoxy. I was at a show the other day and the guy had the Sika Bond stuff. He says it's 5 times stronger than epoxy, and after 8 days of curing time, fully submersible in water. So for ease of use and application, I'm going to give it a shot. It's some pretty sticky shit. Alright, taking a little break in the action. Got all the frames in, kind of tacked in there. I'm going to epoxy them all as soon as I get all this straightened out. I got my stringers all clamped, make sure they're all straight. I didn't cut them out too straight, so the wood braces I'm using is a little trim pieces here. Cut them, go to full length. But so far so good. Just letting all the stuff kind of set up a little bit. It's late Saturday afternoon. This pretty much was an all-day deal putting in these frames and stringers. Got it all epoxied in right now. I'm just letting for it to set up. Once it's all set up, I'll put a coat of resin on everything. Basically took my straight edge and sanded down over these edges. Get a nice smooth transition. So the deck will go on, and that'll be it. Next time I'll show you how resin stringers and the frames and let it go. It's going to do it today. It's about 65 degrees. A little cool. Stuff wasn't really curing like I wanted it to, so there you go.